Welcome to Divine Intel. Welcome to Divine Intel. This is your host Benny with Karina.
Hello, everybody. It's a great evening.
Okay, so I'm sorry that we are recording this video for you guys so late, but we've been very busy.
Hmm.
And I will let you know, guys. I will let you guys know. So, my goodness, I will let you guys know why we were so late and why we are so busy. We have a lot of projects coming out, and we'll let you guys know in about a week when we're done with our projects. And just to give you a hint, it's about cryptocurrencies, right?
Yes,
And
it
also
is.
some other things. I have all the projects. I want to bring it on for all of you to make some money, right?
Exactly. And to understand exactly what's going on and how to embrace it and be part of what it's actually been a part of the prosperity that we're expecting.
Okay. So, um, all right. So you probably wonder why I have this man, the president of El Salvador, in the prophetic grave surrender. I will explain to you why the Lord has put me this man once again, and I will tell you exactly what's happening because you need to be awake of what's happening around the world. We will go through the prophetic word of King Clement, and yes, I will tell you that I'm going to also tell you that whatever happening around the world is basically part of the prophetic word of King Clement. It's not just in one region, right? It's around the
Hmm.
world. And
Exactly.
what is actually the reason? The reason for many people in the Netherland community, when they hear the word the reset, they just said, "Oh, the changes of value of the currencies." Okay, that's what they know, right?
Yeah, that's pretty small thinking.
Okay, but that's not it. The real reset is about getting rid of corruption. Okay,
Exactly.
and why? Because the economy cannot change and we cannot have a new financial system unless we get rid of corruption. Because the people who've been managed to get us to this situation of unjust and unfair system has brought up have brought up humanity to poverty, hungry, uh,
Hmm.
you know, famine,
Desperation. Yep.
desperation, social injustice, you name it. Okay,
Hmm.
that's basic. And then the reason means because when you get rid of corruption, when you get rid of all the things that are stopping for a country to thrive uh, and to advance, then you'll see changes. Okay, so no
And
country. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say, and Ben, when you say get rid of corruption, is it true that you're really basically talking about the corruption that is controlling the countries?
Yes,
Rather,
corruption
because
that is
sin will
controlling the
always be with us,
exactly.
right? Hmm.
For example, what is stopping Iraq? Corruption.
Hmm.
What
Hmm.
is stopping Iran to be part of the international community and thrive in prosperity and let the people prosper?
Yeah.
Corruption.
In the leadership, yeah.
Okay, what is stopping Palestine to become a nation, become a nation that can benefit the people in Palestine, the people who are actually suffering for this situation? Corruption.
Correct.
Okay, what is stopping right now the United States so his own people, us, can prosper along? Corruption. The
Correct.
Democrats and some
Hmm.
even Republicans. So all this is part of the reset. The reset is a new beginning. Getting rid of the corruption and start all over again. I've been saying it all the time. Bring us back to zero. A new
Hmm.
count. Okay?
Hmm.
A new count. A new life. A new beginning. Okay? I think I make myself clear, right?
Beautiful. Yes,
So
exactly.
that's the reason. It's not just the change of values of currencies. The real reset is a new beginning, a new government, a new
Paradigm.
site, a new
Mhm.
paradigm. Exactly, a new paradigm.
Mhm.
Okay.
You know, Ben, this is what I've been trying to say to people as well, that don't miss it. Don't just look for the money.
Mhm.
You're seeing a transformation of the earth.
Mhm.
That's the most exciting thing.
Yes, and so because the Lord, and I think I'm not gonna be contradicting myself. I have said it that the Lord has been giving us little by little messages, and we have seen the switch, the shift, the
Hmm.
change, okay,
Hmm.
the change of the RB. We have seen
Exactly.
the tremendous shift of the RB, of the whole process of revaluations. Okay?
Hmm.
The
Hmm.
Lord has given us messages. Okay? And we have seen that the messages that the Lord has given us has basically come as a confirmation, has passed away, and the Lord loves us so much that He doesn't want us to confuse ourselves. He has told us already there will be a lot of confusion, right?
Hmm.
And that's
Exactly.
exactly what we're seeing. The
Hmm.
Lord told us too that
Chaos.
everything we know about the RB will change drastically. He told us that.
He did.
He told us that a long time ago, before it even happened.
Hmm.
And
Probably a
many
year
people
ago.
even doubted about it. A lot of people attacked me. Okay,
They
and
did.
before I
And look at
preach,
what we're seeing. We're seeing everything. Oh my goodness. It's like, wow, even our understanding of the prophetic words are shifting.
is everything changing, people?
Hmm.
We're learning because in this is something comprehensible. I decoded the prophetic word. I decoded it as I know it, as a learning. Okay, as a learning the decoded word. So maybe we can do a list of the things that we have learned, but for something that we have learned about the breaking the system is a unity of economies.
Yes.
Okay, it's a unity of economies. Okay, I talk about it, I decode it. A unity of of economies that will break the financial system in the Middle East.
Hmm.
What is going to break the financial system in the Middle East? Because everybody's going to separate the dependency of the American dollar.
Exactly.
That's the system right now, the dependency of the United States.
Hmm.
The reason why the prophetic word of King Clement talks about the removal, listen to me, I wanted to decode it again. The prophetic word of King Clement talk about if you dare removing the hand of America from Iran. He said, I'm going to remove the hand of America over Iran, right? Over the hand of
Very
Iran.
clear. Yeah,
Okay?
very clear.
Okay, I will tell you exactly what he's talking about. I'm going to decode in front of you.
That's
Okay?
good. Yeah.
I'm going to decode in front of you. All right? But before we do all that, we have a PowerPoint and we have news.
Yes.
And I want to make sure that everybody understand what am I stand for, because a lot of people have been asking me about the switch from Johnny, because even Johnny have switched.
Hmm.
Okay, even now Johnny is giving the new minister the benefit of a doubt.
It's
I
okay.
did not give the benefit of a doubt. I did it. Okay,
Hmm. Hmm.
but maybe I'm wrong.
Hmm.
Maybe I'm totally wrong. I'm human. I'm okay with that, right? So I
Yeah.
will tell you that everything that he says is a valid. It's a valid opinion. It's a valid
Exactly.
opinion because it's a prophecy. It's a prophecy. And if it is a prophecy, it's full of mysteries.
Hmm.
And we are learning through this journey, find out how our blessing is going to come through mysteries. And the most difficult part is decoding. the
You know,
mysteries.
Ben, as we grow too with decoding, and as we continue to see the world change, we get a different perspective on the truth that has been spoken by God. And so we're always looking from a different point of view. And now our view is from a different point, which gives us a broader perspective.
Yes. All right, so let me just put a pause to the video and then we're gonna continue with the news. We are back, I believe. Yes, we are back. Okay. Are you there, Karine?
Yes, I'm
All
here.
right, so what you're looking at is the email from Johnny, Currency 365 that we are getting for you. You can get these emails and these videos before it being uploaded on YouTube on daily basis by paying a Patreon fee, right? So we're going to be addressing this because a lot of people have been asking me, what do you think about the switch and the change of Johnny regarding the minister? Because, you told us that you don't believe in him, meaning I don't believe in Alawi, okay?
Exactly.
I said it, I don't believe in Alawi, okay? Not because the elite told me. It's just that I just don't believe in these people. I don't believe in these
It's
people.
called
Okay?
lack of faith in them.
Okay? I just don't believe in these people. They're all corrupt. Okay? But now, Johnny said that somebody told him something. So he's giving the benefit of that. So far, he's doing what he's supposed to do, right?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Okay.
We're going to see.
So we're gonna see. That's fine, right? So
See what the
let's
next week
assume.
brings.
Yes. So let's assume that Alawi does what he's supposed to do, which basically is to complete the cabinet and make
Yes.
it non-proxy.
Exactly.
So let's just assume that he does what he's supposed to do. That will be fine, right? So the word of God says there shall be a grave surrender, right?
Correct.
Do you see a grave surrender if this man does what he's supposed to do?
No, I don't.
There you go.
Yep.
So I'm gonna tell you guys that we need to be careful with that prophetic word once again because we're learning as we're going through. We're learning, right? I'm learning.
We are.
You know,
Yeah, we are. We
the
are.
told that when the Lord told me that everything we know about the ERB is going to change drastically, I was afraid to do it because I was afraid to tell you guys. Okay, not because I don't believe in the word or the voice that the Lord tells me. It's because I was afraid of the reaction of the people. You know what I'm saying? I was afraid
Yes.
of the reaction of the people. And thanks God, the reaction was not bad, right? And now we see that that everything we know about it, and we thought that it was going to be, it's just changed.
It is. It is so different.
He talks about the nothing by something, right?
Yes.
So Maliki was nothing. Then it was a body, nothing. Then Mari, nothing. And supposedly this guy is going to be something.
I hope he's something.
Okay, so
and not something else.
Hey, look, is totally valid.
Yeah.
Because we are trying to learn. We are trying to learn the mysteries of the prophetic word of King Command.
Exactly.
Okay? Forget about the elites. Is God the real intel? Okay? God is the real intel, not the elites. They have their separate agenda. Forget about the Earth Alliance. Okay? Is God what we need to become focused on?
Exactly.
Okay, so
because he's truth, Ben.
He's truth. Okay?
Yeah.
So all right. So I want to make sure that I totally fine with Johnny's change of perception, the change of the whole thing. I'm totally fine with that. The same reason I'm doing this video, because what you are about to learn is going to shock you.
Exactly.
Okay? The same reason why I'm showing the president of El Salvador in this video is going to shock you guys. Okay? Because, yes, I will go through the prophetic word exactly as it said. And yes, I may be completely wrong. But this is about the reset, not only about the revaluation of the Iraqi dinar.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? It's about the reset. If we can change the paradigm and get rid of all the corruption, then countries will be able to thrive, will be able to prosper
Yes.
without corrupt politicians to stop them for their own agenda, for their own benefit.
And that's the will of God, Ben,
And
for
that's the will of
those
God.
countries to prosper. Yeah.
Exactly, and this is something, guys, that when we got to 2000, when the year 2000 came out, and the prophecies of the Magians came out, the Magians prophesied 3,000 years ago that all the corruption will get rid of.
Really?
Yes.
Oh.
So all this is basically the agenda of God, believe it or not. Now you can disagree with me because you will say, hey, but the Magians did not believe in God. Oh, yes, they did.
Oh, yeah.
They call it differently, but they had several gods. Yes, they did. But one of them was the truly creator of all gods. That's what people don't get it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? They had many gods, but they believe in one God that was the creator of all gods.
There you
Okay?
go.
And that's where they got the prophecies. And for those people who don't know nothing about the Magians, let me just remind you, you can Google if you want to. The Magians had the most accurate calendar in the whole planet. No
It's
other
true.
calendar can compare to the Mayan calendar. Okay?
Awesome.
So that's what I want you guys to know. Because what I'm about to release you is going to shock you guys. All right? So this video, you may, if you guys don't gonna cry on this video, trust me what I'm telling you, is because you don't get the whole perception, the whole thing, what the Lord is doing around the world.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay? So I just want to get it all the way because a lot of people have come to me and said, what do you stand for? And Johnny's changed of perception, right? And I'm totally fine with this. The same way I'm doing this video. All right. Okay, so now let me put a pause on the recording and then let's go to the next information. Okay, so this is the latest news. It was supposed to not be a big deal. Not talking about big deal, but this is not something that just is gonna shock us. This is the aftermath. What actually the evil spirit of Obama left in his own state. Now they got 23 shot and 9 fatal in Chicago weekend violence. And this is what's happening. And just like I told you, the February, the month of
February, yeah.
the month
Month of
of
danger.
danger, and we're gonna be seeing a lot of danger all over. Okay, we're also gonna be seeing a rise. Listen to this: a rise of the terrorist groups, and we may even see another 9/11. Okay, everything points out that in this month we may see another 9/11. Now, I do not want to contradict myself. I have information that I'm still debating whether I should release it or not. Okay? And I don't know if I should release it. I just don't want to confuse people. Okay? I don't want to confuse people. And as a matter of fact, I also don't want to have people get upset what I do have this information, because the Lord keeps telling me about this event that happened years ago in Spain. Okay? And I'm debating myself. I hitting myself in the head. Say, okay, so what is the event that I'm waiting for? The event that I'm waiting for is when the whole world will not be the same again. That's the event that I'm waiting for. Now, I thought, okay, so that's got to be the 9/11, another 9/11, right?
Yeah, it could be.
Another 9/11 could be the event that I been talking about. The world will never be the same, and it's gonna shift us and bring us to the new paradigm. But there's another event that is coming, people. And the problem is that I don't know how close it is. I really don't know when it's going to happen. Okay? And that's what I'm debating whether I should release that information or not. Because it may offend a lot of people. It may offend your faith and your beliefs. Not to the Catholics, because we just fine with that. But to my brothers, the Protestants. That's the thing. You know what I'm saying? It's a prophecy for the Virgin Mary. And I don't know whether to release it and to talk about it. Maybe in the next video, I'm going to talk about it. If you really want to know about it, let me know. Okay? And if you think that you have open mind and you want to know about it, even though that you don't believe in that, in the Virgin Mary, but you are open to learn, let me know, and then I release it. But if you don't want to learn, if you don't want to know, I'm that's totally fine for me. I'm not gonna release it. Got it? So I'll leave it. Please leave your comments in YouTube. Leave your comments if you want to know about this information. If you don't want to know, don't worry about it. Just don't attack my faith. I don't attack your faith. Okay? Don't attack my faith. I do not attack your faith. I do not attack any Christians. And just answer the question. Do you want to know this information? And if you want to, if you have open mind, then I will release the information. If you don't want it, based on your answers in YouTube and in Facebook, then I will decide whether to release it or not. Okay?
Yes.
So that's because I don't want to confuse you because too much information. Okay?
It's controversial. So
it's very controversial, people. Let me just tell you this. It's very controversial. Even Karen doesn't totally, she doesn't know about this. She does a little bit. But she doesn't know the whole story. Okay?
Okay.
And I'm telling you right now, Karen, you're not gonna be able to grasp it the first time. You're gonna have to take a time to really think about this, okay?
Okay.
But for us who knows about this information, we get it. We get it. We know that something's going to shock the whole world, okay? And this is something that is gonna shock the whole planet, okay? This is something that is gonna shock the whole planet. And I truly believe, listen to this, I truly believe that this might be attached to the prophetic word of Mark Taylor. All roads lead to Rome. All roads lead to Rome, okay? So.
Well, I've been waiting for some kind of event around Rome. Like it's very, in the prophetic words, it's mentioned a lot. And we haven't seen anything that I would say was a fulfillment of it as yet.
Yes. All right. So let me put a pause on this video and I'll come back. Okay. So we're back and we are in our Facebook page, my Facebook page on Divine Intel. And this is the video I'm talking about. I'm going to upload it in a separate video in YouTube for all of you to watch and and listen to the prophet Hank Kunneman. He talks about the coronavirus. Karina, can you please tell our audience what the Lord is telling about the coronavirus?
Well, Hank, God is speaking through him. First of all, we have to remember that it is God speaking through a man. And God is saying basically that his mercy and his grace is upon his people. And he will not allow this virus to take out the nations that are serving God. And so that's exciting. Basically, we're seeing God is declaring over his people that they will be under the protection of the Almighty God. So
Okay.
here we are.
All right. So we are being protected by the protection of Almighty God, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have to worry about it though, for those people within the United States. Because
Yes.
the United States, we have proclaimed under Donald Trump to be a nation who praise the Lord, not government.
Exactly.
Okay, so let me just tell you this, because this is about this video, and that's the reason why I want to explain to you. The Lord showed me the real meaning of the word surrender, according to the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if a government of any nation surrender, listen to this, if any government around the world surrender and let God guide this nation, it will be blessed by God,
Mm-hmm.
protected by God,
Mm-hmm.
prosper by God,
Exactly.
thrive by God. Got it?
Mm-hmm.
So
Very good.
when Prophet Hank Kuhneman said, and those who follow false prophets, yes, you heard me, I'm not going to contradict myself. Those who follow false prophets, bring in famine and disasters and doom prophecies, this is not the real God. Right
Mm-hmm.
now, we are in grace time,
Yes.
harvest time. So stop sending me bullcrap and garbage from false prophets. It's not going to happen, people. They want to collapse the dollar. I just told you the dollar is not going to collapse this year. They want to collapse and bring disaster in the nation. Those are false prophets. They want to remove the cross. Are you listening? This is what the Lord told me. I was talking to Brother Ron. I got to Brother Ron, so just let me just say the name. His name he's another Ron. I was talking with Karen this
Mm-hmm.
morning with Brother Ron, and I want to thank him for his donation. And by the
Mm-hmm.
way, for those people who are sending me your donation, do me a big favor. Just put your telephone number or send me your email. I want to thank you personally. And a lot of people don't not put anything. Don't just send the check and their name is, and it's like, I need to tell you thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So either put your telephone number on the letter or the email. I want to thank you personally for your donation. It doesn't matter how much it is. Okay, it really doesn't matter how much it is. I wanna have the pleasure and the honor to call you and to get in contact with you and tell you thank you. Okay, so I think I made myself clear, right?
Yeah,
All
that's
right.
good.
So I was talking to Brother Grant,
Yeah, it was fun.
and it was really
Hey, by
fun.
the way,
Mhm.
it was the first man I ever saw talk more than Benny.
All right.
He could not get a word in edgewise. It was
Yeah,
awesome.
he was touched by the Spirit.
Yeah, it was
He
great.
was touched by the Spirit. So I was telling the Lord, I was telling Ron that the Lord told me, listen to this. The Lord told me that there will be many churches, Christian churches. Listen to this. The Lord said that there will be many churches removing the cross of Jesus Christ out of those churches.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And the Lord said that's an attack from the enemy. And I've been
Exactly.
telling you, any prophet, I don't care who it is, telling you that God told them that he's offended because we have the cross, that the God, that's the one I remember when he died. He or she is a false prophet. I've been telling you that. Do not be deceived of false prophets. There's the accurate, maybe they can even come out with 100% all the time right, but that's how the devil works. It will deceive people that is in the living book, in the book of life. The cross of Jesus Christ is a symbol, and that's exactly what is attaching us from being saved. So any Christian, I don't care what it is, any denomination, if they are removing the cross of Jesus Christ, get away from the church, because that church has been deceived by the enemy. Okay? Did I make myself clear?
Very clear.
All right. So, if you can see in this picture, they have a cross in the back. That's the cross of Jesus Christ. Okay? So, anyone who just said that the cross is not necessary is being deceived by the enemy. The cross is sacred. Okay? That reminds us that Jesus Christ died for our sins. Okay?
That's good.
All right. Okay, so we are being protected by the Lord, according to the prophet Henkunen. Okay? So, let me show you. Didn't I told you that England was going to be attacked the same way China was going to be attacked? I told you, didn't I?
You did.
All right. So let me show you what I'm talking about. All right. This is Northern California enlists an emergency declaration for a coronavirus outbreak. Do not believe this. The media is trying to bring fear because they know they can control you. Okay? Do not believe this. We are being already told by God in this prophecy.
That's good.
Did the prophet talks about an enemy? Yes or no? Karen?
Yes, he did.
He's talking about the enemy releasing this virus. Yes or no?
Correct. Yes.
Okay, so it's attack from the enemy.
It is.
Do not believe this situation, an outbreak in California. The media is trying to put fear in your heart because it's fake news. Got it?
Yes.
So I'm warning you, do not believe the media. All right? All right. Now, let me talk about this later on. Okay, where is this place? I was going to show you. Here it is. China now has to fight coronavirus and bird flu. Highly pathogenic avian influence hits two Chinese provinces near Hubei. Now they have to deal not with one, but with two major viruses.
4,500 chickens have died.
Yes.
Wow.
Now, please pay attention to this. Please pay attention to this because I'm going to decode it, another information. I know there's a lot of information for all of you, but I need to wake up your consciousness. Okay? Wake up your consciousness. Why China is being attacked? Well, number one, because they signed the agreement. And the establishment, the enemy doesn't want that. And two, why they're being attacked? Because China, listen to this, is under judgment from God. Do you know why?
I do.
Do you know why? Why? Tell me.
Because they persecuting and torturing and imprisoning Christians, tearing down churches.
Exactamundo. You see? It's
tearing down crosses. That's another thing they're doing.
Tearing down crosses. They're destroying churches, Christian churches. Okay, and that's where they're under judgment.
Imprisoning pastors, torturing them.
Pastors, you name it. Okay, so do not be shocked that they are under huge judgment from the Lord. Okay, that's the reason why they're doing this. All right, so let me show you about something else. I will talk about that. What is the other thing? Here it is. No, what is this? Here it is. Positive virus of unknown origin with genes scientists can identify discovering in Brazil. Now there's another virus in Brazil. Scientists in Brazil have discovered a virus which appears to be almost entirely new, consisting of recognizable genes that has been until now undocumented. The Jaravirus brasiliensis, named after the water deity in Brazilian mythology and folklore, was discovered in Lake Papulha in Brazilian city of Belo Horizonte. For those, by the way, I have also a lady who is basically helping me out, translating my videos into Portuguese, because I have a lot of people from Brazil following me. So this is something that the enemy is attacking now, Brazil. Why the enemy is attacking Brazil? Please pay attention. The enemy is attacking, well, it hasn't been attacking because we haven't seen right now. They just discovered the virus, right?
They're trying to contain it, right?
They just, in recent years, biologists and other research discovered a variety of new viruses which challenge traditional thinking, including so-called giant viruses, okay? So these giant viruses possess a far more complex genome the scientists could have predicted based on humanity knowledge of normal viruses and are capable of replicating their own DNA. But it's not an outbreak, okay? They just discovered this. But why is discovered in Brazil? Well, let me just tell you that. Let me say this. Brazil is going through a purge.
Yeah.
Brazil is going through a major purging because the president of Brazil is a man's God-fear president. And he's attacking the lower level of corruption in Brazil. And that's why now the scientists are discovering this in Brazil, because most of the cabal, not most, but some of the cabal, they live in Brazil.
They had the rainforest fire too, right?
You see, let me explain to you why Brazil has so many poor people. Why? Why they're not in prosper? Why they're not in prosper? Why only few people in Brazil are rich? Why? Because of the same problem, people. Corruption. Corruption has brought up Brazil. The biggest country in South America is even bigger than the United States. It has every single natural resources and more over the United States. Yet, they have too many people that are poor because of corruption, people. Okay? They're not able to thrive. They're not able to bring prosperity in their country until they purge the corruption. Got it?
Yes.
And eventually, I don't know when it's going to happen, the currency of Brazil will revalue. But that's not going to happen right now. It's going to happen later on through the years. Got it? All right. So just to let you guys know what's the agenda right now about Brazil. For those Brazilians, my brothers and sisters in Christ, in Brazil, to know about this. Okay, so I've been talking about Brazil not too much, but I've been basically decoding the messages, and that's why they're doing this. They find genes, and eventually these people will try to release those genes because they want to bring chaos and panic. They want to stop that wealth transfer. It's attack of the enemy. Okay. It's an attack of the enemy, but the enemy will not win. Okay? At the end, God is in control. Got it?
Yes, 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 yes.
All right. So now, what we're gonna do right now is let me find out what else I can talk about it. Okay. So we talk about what's happening in Brazil, right?
Yes, we did.
They found a new virus. Then China has two more problems with viruses. Then the name of the movie of the year in Hollywood is called Parasite. Is that a coincidence?
That's wicked.
Is that
Wow.
a coincidence? It's not a
Of course
coincidence,
not. Of course
guys,
not.
okay? It's not a coincidence. And
A
where this movie
message.
come from? It come from Korea. And it is a Asian movie. It is the first international foreign movie to win an Oscar as the movie of the year. The first one. Never happened before. And it's called
Wow.
Parasite. It's not about viruses, but just the name is sending us subliminal messages. It's a subliminal message from the cabal. Okay? Do you understand that?
Yep. Yep.
That's what you need to pay attention. You need to pay attention that the cabal is sending exactly those subliminal messages to your subconsciousness. I told you during the half the Super Bowl half game show. I told you about the cabal was going to go after your kids, right?
You
And now we
did.
have in videos and movies,
Yep.
satanic cartoons
Yeah.
going after your kids. Now people can say, look, they've been going out for years. Yes, my man, it's been going out for years, but not this much.
It's a target. It's
Is
a very
is that
specific.
it is going to be so open, you're going to be shocked. Watch. Right now, it's just happening in Disneyland. Okay, they come out with something that is a demonic spirit that will make people and your
Teach
kids
them witchcraft. Yeah.
witchcraft. We have other movies, like for example, what's the name of that movie? One also from Hollywood,
Oh,
um,
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter and all that. But it's going to be more open now. Watch.
Yeah, very open.
It's going to be more open because they want to put that seed in the souls of the children. So I don't care how pathetic you can be, guys. Some of you are pathetic parents. I said it. Some of
Oh
you
yeah.
are pathetic parents. And why I call you pathetic parents? Because I know for a fact that many people, many parents just cannot say no to kids. You're pathetic. If you are one of them, I don't care how pathetic you are as a parent. If you do not protect your kid for watching these cartoons, you're going to be sorry. You're going to be sorry the rest of your life.
Boundaries, people.
Okay?
Boundaries.
All right? I'm
And you
telling
can explain it. One of the things that I always did is I explained why, right?
Yeah.
And that allow the kids to help learn how to reason, right?
Yes.
How to discern.
Exactly. All right. So let's continue with the next segment. All right. So we're back. And now we're going to be talking about this article. It comes from the Telegraph in UK. Currency experts fear the IMF no longer has firepower to act as a world lender of last resort. Global Task Force sounds alarm over very dangerous dollar crunch. Now, let's see if we can read a little bit. Central banks have lost control of global liquidity. The dollarized international financial system has become treacherously unstable and vulnerable to a sudden reversal of capital flows, meaning the banks are not lending money. That's what it means.
Okay.
So, yet the International Monetary Foundation is diminished force and no longer has the firepower to act as the world lender, see that? Of last resorts in emergency. That is the stark conclusion of a G20 task force of leading currency experts. A surge of offshore dollar lending. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
A surge of offshore dollar lending increasingly through opaque security markets has exploded to $18 trillion and has overwhelmed the safety buffers of existing financial architecture. All right. The concern is that continued the surge of the value of the United States dollar, potentially triggered by the coronavirus epidemic and any other black swan catalytic, could bring to this a head. And it says more, but I'm not gonna be subscribing this. So basically, guys, they stop lending money.
Mm-hmm. That's
Okay,
dangerous.
so
Yeah.
this is got to be a logic. There needs to be a justification and a logic. And we talk about this in my pay-per-views.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We talk about this and how the banks are preparing for the event.
Exactly.
Okay, it's not about the gurus telling you, oh, the gold is gonna be activating, and oh, we're gonna be exchanging. Nothing happened, man. Nothing happening. I don't care how many meetings you get, retard. Nothing's happening. You're still poor, right? You know who you are. I'm not gonna mention your name because you're a joke. You are a pathetic joke. No, I'm not gonna mention your name. Everybody knows your name. You are a retard. And you are a big liar. And every single guru out there are lying. And they continue lying because they got shit of resources. What's going to happen, people, is the following. Are you listening? I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. Since that central banks are going to stop lending money, then countries will have to unite. Are you listening?
That's good.
Didn't I mention the economists will unite?
Yes, you did.
I did mention that, didn't I?
Oh, yeah.
And what is the break in the system? Isn't that dependency of the dollar? Yes or no?
Correct.
So the central bank are going to have to stop lending dollar, otherwise economies are not going to thrive. Economies needs to be united against the dollar. I've been talking about this for more than 5 years. You just cannot revalue if the dollar is that big and there's so much money. That's fiat currency, people. They need to stop the flow.
Exactly.
Okay, they need to stop the flow, people. That's how you're gonna be. By removing the corruption, okay, and by having the central banks stop the flow of overwhelming dollar fiat currency, other economies will have to thrive in a different way. We'll have to make business in a different way. And unity will have to be the only thing that they have in mind. That's why the dinar will break the financial system in the Middle East. That's why we have the minister and president of Malaysia calling for the dinar. Okay? Because these countries will unite and break that adoption, the dependency of the American dollar. And if we are paying attention what the new government of Iraq, that's exactly what they're doing. They diminishing all these dinars from 3 billion to 2 billion to 1 billion in order to release the value, the real value of that currency. But it's not going to be just the Iraqi dinar, it will be the rest of those countries who has dinar as a name of their currency. It's a process. And many can say, oh, it can take months. I don't need your negative thinking. This can be done so fast, believe it or not. I almost kicked somebody in my chat room because you come out with the stupidity that it may take months or even years for this to happen. No. I don't need your negative opinion. This can be done fast and accurate. And how do I know that? Because I'm an ex-banker, people. I know these things. And what do you think they've been working behind the curtains all about?
I was just going to say, Ben,
Yeah.
they're already working on it
Yeah,
all.
they're working behind.
It's just not transparent to us.
Yes, exactly. All right? So that's your intel. That is your intel. They're working before you know it, it's going to be announced, and there you go.
Mm-hmm.
But this video is about the great surrender. If the government of Iraq does what it's supposed to do, a simple stuff, by completing a cabinet, not depending on the criminals of the Iranian government, yes, they will be free and they will be able to thrive internationally and bring the value as a positive value. But I do not see the great surrender in Iraq. Do you see it, Karen?
No, I do not.
That's what this video is all about. Can we see a great surrender in Iran? Oh, yes, we can. And what do we know about this? Because it was already prophesied by Prophet Charlie Shamp. Prophet Charlie Shamp said that the Ayatollah was going to be removed.
That's right.
And the Church of God, the biggest Church of God in the Middle East, is in Iran.
It is.
The Christians who basically they are getting together as they said that it was hidden church.
Yeah, underground revival, right?
Underground revival. See that? It's an underground revival. But they're not going to do it just like that. They're going to have suffer. Somebody's going to have to be killed. Somebody's going to, and I'm going to tell you, I'm not going to contradict myself. I'm telling you, read this, okay? Somebody in Iraq in a higher level is going to be killed or hurt. Are you listening? Are you taking notes?
Yes.
Somebody in Iraq are going to be killed, assassinated, or hurt. And when that happens, listen to this, people. When that happens, we might see a great surrender coming either from Iran or Iraq. But what I know so far is that they're going to target Iraq. This is what I know so far. They're going to target Iraq. Do you guys understand this? But, you know, it might happen in Iran. I don't know. But so far what I know is that they're going to target Iraq. Hopefully it's not Alawi. Okay? Hopefully it's not Alawi. But if that happens, listen to this. If that happens, I want to make sure that everybody understands this. I am not trying to offend anybody, and I'm not trying to contradict anybody. I mean, the prophetic boom, it was not done by me, it was done by Matthew, put forward. The Lord told him that Iran was supposed to be attacked, and then will be within days of the dinar, okay? Of the revaluation of the dinar. That is not my prophetic boom. Do not mistake in that. According to the elites, somebody was going to get hurt or murdered, and then is my opinion, not what the Lord told me, because the Lord did not tell me that, is my opinion that when we see this happen in Iraq, not only Iran, but in Iraq, we might be days from the revaluation of the Iraqi dinar.
Okay, that's good.
You understand that? We might be in days of the Iraqi dinar revaluation, if that happens. Okay? The cabal is going to try to start the revaluation of the Iraqi dinar. Do you guys understand that?
Of course.
Okay, so they're going to try to stop that revaluation of the Iraqi dinar, whether they like it or not, because the enemy will try to stop your blessing before, during, and after the RB. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So now you have it. Now, let's talk about the reset. The reset is about removing the corruption. That's the real reset.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, let's talk about something else, about why everybody's in accordance. That we cannot have a reset unless we have a crash of the financial system. Because that makes more logic, right?
Okay. Yep.
Johnny has talked about it. Some
Mm-hmm.
other people have talked about it. That we cannot have, listen to this, we cannot have a reset unless the old financial system collapse, right?
Mm-hmm. Old
It
wineskin.
makes more logic, right?
Yes.
Are you listening, people? Because what I'm about to release is going to shock you. And John is going to be listening to this video. Then the Lord told us that everything we know about the RB is going to change drastically. Yes or no?
Yes.
Then the Lord said that He's going to do it His way, not people's way. Yes or no?
Absolutely yes.
I'm telling you right now. Do we need a crash of the financial system? Because according to logic, that's the only way we can have the reset. I'm telling you right now, don't count it.
Hmm.
Yes, you hear me. Don't count it because the Lord is going to shock us. Watch. Don't count on it. I know Johnny has been doing when the crash is going to happen, blah, blah, blah. We have also all the prophets talking about the crash. I'm not telling you it's not going to happen. I'm not telling you it's not going to happen. What I'm telling you is that if it doesn't happen and we got the reset before the crash happened, don't be surprised.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because the Lord told me today that we all going to be shocked.
There you go.
Okay? The Lord told me today that we all going to be shocked concerning the crash.
Hmm.
Now, is that contradictable to the King Clement prophecy? No. Because King Clement prophesied the crash. He prophesies that people will say that we are going back to the 1920s. Yes or no, Karen?
He did.
And then that says we're going to have the 1920s, meaning the people were going to say we're in a big depression.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But the Lord said 4 times, not 1, not 2. He said 4 times, no, 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 no. I got 4, I got 11, I got 4, I got 11. He says, what happened in the financial system, it was something unusual. See the word? It says
Mm-hmm.
unusual, something that people did not expect.
Hmm.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
There will be no repression. There will not be depression, neither a another recession. It's unusual because it's your new paradigm, people. Many will be millionaires before this happened. The big crash will affect only the super rich. Listen to this. The big crash will affect the super rich. Many of the super rich will become broke overnight. That's
There you
the
go.
big transfer from the very rich to the very poor.
Hmm.
How many times I have said it that the Lord will shock everybody. That this will take a miracle that humanity will never, ever, ever comprehend.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's your new paradigm. The impossible will happen. Watch. The impossible will happen because that's how the Lord will be glorified. Didn't I been telling you? Every single knee will bend because the Lord is about to be glorified.
It's good.
Got it, Karen?
Yes, got it.
All right. So we are
Makes
looking
sense,
for
Ben.
unity. We are looking for unity of economies. Economies will unite. Okay? Because they're going to stop the dependency of the American dollar. The American dollar, and which basically it is the standard currency. They need to stop the fiat currency. The only way they can stop it is by the bankers who owns this event, not the governments, are going to stop lending money. They actually been stopped lending money for a year and a half ago, and they're not lending any more money. Okay? Now, they're stopping lending money for a reason. Okay? And that's because if they don't stop the floating of fiat currency, how other currencies will react? They need to thrive. The dependency of the American dollar must be stopped, people. Okay? And that's the break in the system.
De-dollarization.
Exactly. All right? So that's how it's going to happen. It's going to happen by a justification. And therefore, there will be a logic behind it. Not because the stupid guru says, we are going to exchange! Hooray! No.
And Ben, we're seeing this. We're watching this take place.
Stop glorifying the retard.
Yeah.
Stop glorifying the retard. Educate yourself. Why these things are going to happen? We've been more right than wrong than anybody else. Okay? Simple. Okay? So that's what we need to work. We need to focus on how the Lord is working for us. Is bringing the blessing. It's going to happen eventually. We don't know when, but it's going to happen eventually. So now that we just covered this thing, now we can go to the PowerPoint, right?
Yes.
All right, so let's go to the PowerPoint, people, and I hope that you like this information. Okay, so now we are in our part of Jesus. We are here on the PowerPoint presentation, and it's called the prophetic grave surrender is here, and I'm going to go through the prophetic word, and I will tell you why this man is right here in the PowerPoint. Okay. Number one, I told you that when the Lord showed me his picture, I thought it was Jesus.
Yeah.
And he was smiling, right?
Yes.
And I said, that's Jesus. He has a beard. Okay. And
that's funny.
It was white. Don't get offended, Johnny. Okay. And I said, this is Jesus, because I knew myself, and I asked the Lord to save my country. Okay.
Yep.
Later on, I found out it was not Jesus. That's the picture that the Lord showed me.
Wow.
That was Bukele. When I went in my knees to ask the Lord with all my heart and my love to save my country, the Lord showed me the picture of Nayib Bukele. Nayib Bukele is the new president of the Republic of El Salvador, and he's considered the best president of the world. Even above Donald Trump, put him in all the presidents in the world.
Amazing.
Okay? He's the most famous and most popular president of the world. And there's a reason why, because God gave it to humanity. And I even told you that the new elite wants to put El Salvador as an example to other countries to follow.
Exactly.
And that's exactly what's happening. I will prove it to you. All right, so today is Monday, February the 10th, 2020. It's still 9:05 p.m. Pacific time, so you probably will see it by tomorrow, the next day.
It's
Sorry
12.
for that, okay? So the topics we're going to be talking about are the following. We're going to be talking about, first of all, the topics did not came. I don't know why.
What?
So, yes, it did not came. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a stop on this video. And I don't know why it didn't show the topic. So, luck. Okay, so now we're back. So these are the topics we're going to be talking about, okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Nope, that is not it. Well, we're gonna read. Let's read that the prophecy of King Clement, okay?
Okay.
And then we talk about the prophet, the topics. All right. So they said the prophecy said the Spirit of God is speaking now over the region of Iraq, over the region of Iran. Now from there, now you know that the Lord is only talking about the region. Otherwise, it wouldn't be,
Mm-hmm.
So over the region of the Middle East and Southern Asia.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the Lord is giving the prophecy about.
Mm-hmm.
Then he said the earth is shaking, it shall shake again because of the protests that we're seeing on the street, the earthquakes, etc., etc. But God says, I am speaking that I may release resources and there will be a great surrender. Those resources are basically what the corrupt are holding for a country not to thrive.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because without resources, without oil, without gold, without working under a corrupt government, it's impossible for a currency to revalue.
That's good.
And it's impossible for a country to go on and thrive. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, but God says, speaking that I may release resources, and there will be a great surrender. Now notice that the Lord is talking about great surrender, but he may mention where it came from. We don't know if it's going to come from Iraq. We don't know if it's going to come from Iran. We don't know.
Mm-mm.
Okay,
China.
we can assume, listen to this, we can assume that it has to come from the Middle East. But how do we know?
We don't.
We don't, right?
No.
Okay. So that will take place in the months to come, said the Lord. I want to free you, said the Lord, every one of you, my people, to be able to stretch out their hands to the lonely, to the hungry, to the poor, and feed them and clothe them. So that's that order from King Jesus.
Exactly.
If you don't believe that Jesus is the King and your God, then you're gonna get this money just to buy stupidity and material things, and you're not gonna save your soul. Simple.
Exactly.
Okay? So this is my desire. If you don't do that desire of our Lord, if you don't believe that that Jesus is King, and you're not doing His desire, you're gonna listen to Him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay? You're gonna be judged. Simple as that.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, there shall be a break in the financial system, said the Lord, in the Middle East. That's when the economies will have to get joined and just get away from the dollar and break that financial system. That break the dependency of the dollar. Are you there?
Yes. Yes.
So
Yes.
therefore, there
Yes.
shall be a break in the financial system in the Middle East, and then says the dinar. And many shall say, listen to this, the word is many. And how do I know it's many? Because for the last year, I've been talking about a he, but I got it from a very bad file. I will show you the good file that I found. And it says many, not says he. It
That's
says
good.
many shall say, why now? I was shocked when I saw that good file. I will show it to you. Okay, it says many. It doesn't say he. I've been thinking about who's going to be. I even said, maybe that's Johnny.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's not Johnny.
Or Trump.
Or Trump, right?
Mm-hmm. But
No,
it's going to be many people.
It's going to be
which
many
makes
people.
sense.
All of us. That makes more sense. That makes more sense, right? That makes more sense. And God said, when things seem at the worst, meaning with the whole chaos and panic on the street, I will bring it forth and I shall free them up. What's going to bring? What the Lord is going to bring forth? Meaning justice to the people. Okay? Justice to the people. Power to the people. Because without the removal corrupt people, you are not going to exchange. So stop believing the bullshit from gurus. Do you guys understand that? Until we release and we get away from the corruption, any private, stupid, bullshit private group will not, I said it, will not exchange. And even after that, you will not cash. You will not exchange. I'm not going to contradict myself. Because if there's something more corrupt, the private groups are the same private groups themselves and the gurus behind it. Okay? Did I make myself clear?
Perfect.
All right. So therefore there shall be a break in the financial system in the Middle East. The dinar, and many shall say, why now? And God said, when things seem at the worst, I will bring forth and I shall free them up. There shall be prosperity in a place where you least expect it. Did the Lord said where?
Nothing.
Nothing, right?
No, he said no.
So
We don't
I
know.
want you to please hold that thought. The Lord never said, where is the prosperity? He only says something. That there shall be a prosperity in a place where you less expected. It doesn't say it was Iraq. It doesn't say it was Iran. It doesn't say it was Palestine. No, it just says on one place. It can be anywhere. Okay?
Yeah, and it doesn't imply even that it's that way. Yeah,
All right.
there's no
So
implication there.
let's continue with the prophetic word. It says the prayers of my people, and Iran the prayers of my Christian people that have come forth from Iraq and from Palestine. Yes, Palestine, said the Lord. And even those regions, if you can hear that noise, that is they're working on my apartments.
The water.
The water. So I will hear the prayers and I will do something marvelous and I will feed this nation, says the Lord. Okay, so guys, look, let me put a pause and I'll come back. Okay, so we're back to the topics, and these are the topics we're gonna cover. Okay, let's do this quickly. All right, so the first topic will be the definition of the word surrender according to the Lord. The Lord told me about the definition. I reviewed with Karen, and she said this is so good, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, amazing.
So I will tell you about the word surrender, well, according to the Lord, and you need to understand this. And then, where is the place that there will be a prosperity where you least expect it? Okay, that's what I told you in the beginning of the prophetic word.
Yeah, where is it?
The Lord doesn't mention that place.
It's true.
Now,
it's true.
I mentioned a long time ago that Guyana is one of those places. Guyana have been saying that this will be prosper, right? In South America, all right? It's also one place that a lot of Christians lives there, okay?
Okay.
It's also the place where we had the massacre of the Antichrist right there. Anyway, so we're going to also talk about the attack of the enemy, all right? And we're going to talk about the prophetic great surrender is here. All right, Amen. So now let's talk about the first one, which is the definition of the word surrender. According to the Lord, the definition of the word surrender is to give up.
Yes.
And many of you guys, don't know how to give up. Okay? Especially the people who are desperate to exchange.
Exactly.
If you are desperate to exchange, you need to learn how to give up.
Exactly.
Yes, give up, people. You cannot fight a fight that you cannot win. If you can fight a fight that you can win, give up. Surrender. Okay?
And it's like you're saying, I give up.
Yes.
I give up. Okay? I can't do this.
And I will show you the meaning of the word give up through Nayib Bukele. Okay? I will show you the meaning of the word give up through the president of El Salvador. He definitely has given one of the most profound, tremendous examples of humility and faith around the world. He gave up. When you give up, people, you give up and leave it up to God. Do you understand that?
Yep. You stop
You
trying
stop trying to change things on your own and leave
Exactly.
it to God.
You stop trying to make your decisions,
Yes.
your plans.
Exactly.
Let
the Lord
God do
told
it
me
His
that
way.
when there will be a grave surrender, it means that they're going to leave the people thrive
It's good.
by suffering. Okay? By suffering, start fighting a fight that you cannot win. You can't fight against God.
Exactly.
So give up, surrender. You cannot fight a word that you're trying to do to accomplish the things that you cannot change. If you cannot change the stuff that you cannot change, just give up, people. And let God do the wonders for you. Let God fight the fight for you. Okay?
Simple.
It's very simple. Let God fight the fight for you.
Stop striving. Stop worrying.
Exactly. Start worrying about. Just
Mhm.
leave it up to God. That's it.
Yep.
Okay? So, where is the place where there will be a prosperity? That's the second topic
Title.
of this promise. Okay? So, where is the place where there will be a prosperity where you least expect it? If we read the prophetic word of King Clement, we see as he says, and he's speaking over the region of Iran and regions of Iraq and the southern regions. But we need to remember, people, that the prophetic word is a mystery. You see, the reason why every prophetic word is a mystery is because if it tells you exactly where it's going to happen, all these things, the enemy will come and destroy the prophetic word. That's why it's a mystery, right? So, and why is a mystery? Because the Lord will not reveal his secrets so the enemy can come and destroy his plan.
Exactly.
Later
It's a
on, we are
strategy.
going to talk about the enemy attacking. So please stay by. As the year 400 is revealed right in front of us, we need to identify the signals, but we also need to recognize that we are in an earthly and heavenly battle. All the battles that we are going through are spiritual. Okay? It's in the Bible. All right? So, the attack of the enemy, that's the next topic we're going to address. What we're having right now is a spiritual attack of the enemy.
Exactly.
The coronavirus, right? The bird virus. The virus that they're discovering in Brazil.
Yep.
Okay, the virus of corruption in the Middle East, the virus of corruption in the United States with the Democrats and some Republicans, the establishment. All that is a spiritual attack from the enemy. It's trying to prevent the wealth transfer. It is written in the Bible, people. In order for you people to understand the reason, it's about the removal of corruption and to start all over again. That's going back to zero. Okay? That is what the reason is all about. It's not about currencies changing values. Without the removal of corruption, nothing's going to happen, people. Nothing, absolutely nothing. So let me just explain to you why do we have the president of El Salvador as an example to follow, because the New Elites have told us that they're going to put El Salvador as an example to follow, and everything that I'm going to show you is truth and nothing but the truth. So let me give you a brief of the situation in the Republic of El Salvador. El Salvador went through a civil war that lasted from 1980 to 1992. That's 12 years approximately. Approximately 1.5 million people died. And that's approximately. Some saying even said that probably died like 3 million people.
Wow.
In 1992, there was a peace treaty, and they signed it. But the problem was that, you see, wars cannot be won with peace treaties.
Mm-hmm.
You sign a peace treaty when one side of the war, one side of the people in the conflict win the war. That's the right way to win the war. If nobody wins, the corruption still exists. The reason why we went through a civil war was because there was too much corruption from the right, and we thought that the left were the good guys. They were not the good guys. They were sponsored by Cuba and Russia, the communists.
Wow.
So when they went to that table and they signed the peace treaty, it was just an agreement between the very corrupt. So the very corrupt took dominion of the Republic of El Salvador. And for more than 30 years, we lived in the agony of corruption and violence. Inside the peace treaty, there was an international agreement that prohibits having any type of coup against the Salvadorian state. Before that, before the war, we had all types of coups coming from the army, coming from the right, left and right. We have probably about 4 or 5 coups. So democracy was not. My country didn't have no democracy at all, and the Constitution of El Salvador was not even respected. Got it?
Got it.
So I'm telling you right now what is the situation in El Salvador. All right. So they stated that it should be resolved democratically by a vote, meaning if you don't like a government, you can vote and get out of it. So I want you to understand why the government, why Nayib Bukele did what he did. Okay, because according to the Constitution of the Republic of El Salvador, if the Congress did not want to work with the government, did not want to work and do their job, which is helping the people of El Salvador, the president of El Salvador, according to the Constitution, he could call the Congress subordinated. And he has the support of the army. He has the support of the civil police. He has the support of the international community. He has the support of the people of El Salvador. Do you guys understand that? Okay, so if he had the support of all this, he could easily call up the Congress of El Salvador to be against the interests of the national interests. And immediately after that is done, according to the Constitution of El Salvador, all the members of the Congress could go to prison for more than 20 years. But he didn't do that. Are you listening? The president of El Salvador did not do that. I will tell you why. Okay? This is a brief of the situation in El Salvador. You see, during the Civil War, the worst was not the Civil War, even though they killed 1.5 million people.
Plus.
The worst of the war was the post-war. What is the post-war? After the war. After the war, during those 12 years, a whole generation of children grew up watching death and mutilations on the streets. Yes, we watch people head, hands, half of the body over the street as an example of fear, to put fear into the public, into the civilization, into the citizens. Okay, that if they didn't do what they're supposed to be, they were going to end up like that, cut in pieces. We saw that. I saw that when I was a child.
Wow.
Okay, so that's how cruel our Civil War went through. But you see, that's when my parents sent me. They sent me because they didn't want me to grow up in that situation. It was not an environment for any kid to go through. But the kids that stood in El Salvador, they became the worst of the world.
Wow.
I'm talking about these children grew up with no feelings, no God, and no mercy.
Wow.
So when they grew up becoming the most cruel, more violent group of terrorists, international, well recognized. I'm talking about the
Wow.
Mara Salvatrucha. The Mara Salvatrucha is an organized criminals group that right now is in about 17 countries, if I'm not mistaken.
Really?
Yes, and they control drugs, and you can also they have some connection with ISIS, and these people are godless.
Hmm.
And it's starting my country because of the war.
Wow.
Okay, so I'm telling you right now what's the situation of El Salvador, so you understand. So through the years, after they signed the agreement, the left and the right became the enemies of the state. For the next 30 years, the left and the right mutilized the Mara Salvatrucha, meaning utilize the Mara Salvatrucha, not mutilize. Utilize, use the Mara Salvatrucha to control the nation through fear. You made a mistake right there.
Sorry about that.
Okay? They use the Mara Salvatrucha to control the people through fear. How did they do that? Well, they pay millions of dollars to these criminals, and they will go to every single household and say, look, you're going to have to vote for this president or we're going to kill you.
Wow.
And that's how it lasted more than 30 years. Murdering people was a daily thing and never cared. These people were so corrupt, they didn't give a damn about the lives of the Salvadorians. Okay? So that's when the Lord gave us Nayib Bukele.
Wow.
And Nayib Bukele became the best president of the world, according to the new polls, right? So let me just tell you something about this man. Like I said, I went to my knees the day that I left El Salvador. I went to my knees and I implored the Lord and I asked the Lord to save my country. And the Lord showed me his face, just as like you see right now, was smiling, and I thought it was Jesus Christ, but it wasn't him. It was Bukele. Nayib Bukele, his parents are from Palestine. Yes,
Wow.
Palestine. Okay?
That's interesting.
Okay, Palestine. So this man is a God-fearing president. Okay, he fears God. He's not a Muslim. Okay, and let me tell you about the Lord said. Blessed is the nation whose God is the Lord. Okay, so when you bring the Lord, to make the decisions of the country that you're leading, your country will be blessed.
Exactly.
Okay? But this is what I need you to understand that. I will show you a video. And wait, I'm going to shock you. Because what he did has never been seen before. All right, so the President Bukele, he had a plan to get rid of corruption and to get rid of crime, because the country was dominated by the criminals of the Mara Salvatrucha. Okay? Karen?
Yes.
So you have also seen that Donald Trump addressing that these criminals, they need to get out from this country, right? He haven't addressed it too.
Exactly.
So this is that's the most dangerous gang in the world. Okay?
But you don't want them to come to the U.S.
Yes, so under the President Bukele, in less than a year, he was able to control the violence from the criminal gangster by 60%.
Awesome.
Okay, so
Hmm.
his plan has several phases. There are 3 phases. Okay, um, the first phase I don't remember, but let's talk about the phase that he's going right now. So let me just put a stop and let me show you something. Okay, so his plan has several phases. I think he has like 4 or 3 phases in order to control these gangsters, right? The people who actually prevent the country to thrive. Okay,
Hmm. Hmm.
you cannot have investments in a country when there is violence. You need to have a non-violent environment, otherwise the economy is not going to work, right?
Exactly.
All right. So he had the plan, and like I said, this plan has several phases. Okay, and there are 3 phases. We're just gonna work on the third phase. So the third phase guarantee that the economic support from the government to armed forces and police forces.
Hmm. Hmm.
A better pay for the police, a better pay for the soldiers, right?
Hmm.
Bulletproof vest, you name it, the whole thing. So
Equipment. Hmm.
equipment. So they wanted to. So Bukele asked for a loan money to the Congress. Please pay attention to this. But the Congress is controlled by both right and left, the criminals, the same people who have brought the country into this situation. Are you listening?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so how can he get rid of it? That's the beauty that I'm trying to tell you, because what I'm about to release you is going to shock you. So Bukele must bring both justice and peace in the country, because no country can work and be in prosperity without peace. That's what it counts. The prophetic grave surrender is here. When you stop fighting a fight that you cannot win
Hmm.
and give it to the Lord. I'm going to show you this video, and I hope you get the message. Okay? All right.
Good.
All right. Hold on. Let me see if I can put a. So they stopped the funding of his plan to bring prosperity, to bring justice and peace to the public, to the government, right? To
Hmm.
the country.
Yeah. Opposition.
So the Congress, which is controlled by the very corrupt, they say no to Bukele. So Bukele called the people of El Salvador to go on the streets and protest according to the Constitution of the Republic of El Salvador. Is allowed. Okay.
Okay.
Then the army made the call, and they said we are going to support our president. Then the police came out and said we are going to support the president. Then the international community came out and said we're supporting the president. So after having all the support, he called the people on the street, and more than 500,000 people show up outside the Congress, the palace of the Congress. But something happened. Half of the Congress did not show up. They didn't care. They need to vote for the loan, for lending the money that stop the plan for control the territory of from the criminals. Got it? Because in that same plan, there's also a plan to bring to bring those criminals back to society. Do you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
So he's not attacking or killing them, but he wants to help them to back to
Yeah.
society and stop
Restore. Yeah.
and restore them. It's a beautiful plan.
Hmm. Hmm.
Let me show you the video, and you'll see all the people as they get into the Congress. Okay, hold on. That was the live feed. And you see all these people. You also will see that army getting into the Congress and the whole Congress. And then after he saw that nobody show up, only few show up, he went back to the people outside the Congress after he prayed. So he prayed because he had two choices. Let me just explain to you. He had the choice to proclaim that the Congress was against subordinated. And according to the Constitution of El Salvador, all the Congress members can go to prison for more than 20 years.
Wow.
But he didn't do that. And I will tell you why he didn't do that. Because when you are anointed by God, he will tell you not your ways. He will tell you the God's way. I told you about the agreement of the peace treaty, right?
You did.
All right. So if he would have called in subordination to the Congress, it would have gone against the peace treaty, because that could also be considered a coup.
Exactly.
See that? But he
Yep.
didn't do that. So he started praying. Let me show you the video when he started praying. There you go. Take a look. He said, in that video, he said, I will let my decision, I will let God make that decision for me. And he started praying. And while he was praying, he started crying.
Oh,
Take a look.
bless her. Yep.
He started crying.
Yeah. He
Take a
loves
look.
his country. Yeah.
He started crying. Because he didn't know what to do. Take a look.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then God spoke to him. And then he went back to the people.
Yeah.
When he went back to the people, he told the people that God told him, patient. God told him, be patient.
Wow.
He didn't tell him, look, call him unsubordinate and and take him to prison. No. The Lord told him, be patient.
Wow, Ben.
That's God's way.
That is so beautiful. We never see this in a government, I'll tell you.
If that would be Donald Trump, it would be considered a sign of weakness. But he surrendered. He grave surrender.
Wow.
He grave surrender to the will of the Lord, to the will of the living God, to bring a nation together
Thank you, Jesus.
in a country that is named after Jesus Christ. El Salvador means the Savior. Take a look. Take a look. That's the same president the Lord gave me when I was a child to save my nation from the very corrupt. Take a look.
Thank you, Jesus.
And the Lord told him, be patient. He surrendered. He said, I can't fight this fight, my Lord. I just cannot fight this fight. Please fight this fight for me. That's the grave surrender. See that? When have you ever seen this? Humility. When have you seen somebody like this? When? That's the grave surrender that the Lord showed me. Now look, he's standing up, he's going back to the people who's waiting outside. 500,000 people.
Wow, Ben.
And he told the people, God told me to be patient. And the people jump up and said, no, no. They start screaming. And he said, let's do what the Lord told us to do.
Yeah.
Let's be patient. Let's give him one more week.
Yeah. Thank you, Jesus.
See that? Let's give them one more week. He's not calling for a subordination. He's not calling them. He's not calling for a coup. He's not calling for. He has the army. He can actually take them off. He doesn't want to do that. He wants to let God do the miracle.
We need to stand with him in prayer, right, Ben?
Yeah.
We need to stand
This
with
is
him.
the grave surrender the Lord showed
And
me.
let the country shift. Yeah.
See
Under
that?
the hand of God.
This is the God's coup. It was a coup. Yes, it was a good based on the decision of God. God told him, be patient. I'm going to make the changes for you.
Wow. Don't force it.
Don't force it. Yeah.
And he's being an example to the people as well.
And I told you that the elite said that he was going to let the United Sabbath to be an example to follow. Take a look.
Wow.
He's an example to the whole world. No violence. No violence. Following the Constitution. Take a look.
Yep. Yep.
And then he's telling that he said, you know, God told me to be patient and take a look. All these people.
Yep.
And
Listening.
he say, no, see that? No patient. And he said, don't worry, we can take these people out in the next elections. Let's prove them that we are the people, that we are controlling. They're gonna get them out. This year we have elections. We're gonna keep these people out. They're gonna do it the right way, by peace, by using democracy.
Good for him.
No more coups, no more violence. Enough of violence, enough of killing. Now we're gonna do it God's way. Okay?
Okay.
And that's what the Lord showed me of great surrender. The Lord will fight for you, and you shall hold your peace and remain at rest. Exodus 14:14. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against the spiritual weaknesses in high places. Because everything is a spiritual war.
Mm-hmm.
He knows that. Okay? And just like I said, if you surrender and you give me your nation, the God will give you the prosperity. And why? Because, listen, the elites, the most richest people in the world, are putting more than $200 billion in investments in El Salvador.
Wow.
And everything is being put on hold because of this corrupt. They need to control the violence. They need to control and get rid of all the corrupt, or there will be no prosperity in the smallest country in Central America, in one of the smallest countries in the world. And I truly believe that when the Lord was telling to King Clement about that there will be a prosperity in the place less expected, he was referring to El Salvador.
I think you're right.
Okay, he was referring to El Salvador, and we might see the grave. We probably already see the grave surrender. We just don't know. Okay, we probably already see the grave surrender right now, because you tell me about one government that will cry in front of all the cameras and surrender because he just doesn't want to send them and basically bring out more chaos and have
And
all
anger
this
and
anger
hate. Yeah.
because the country is divided. That's what we see in the country in the United States. We divided between left and right. Okay? And the Lord doesn't want that. So the grave surrender could have been right now Najib Bukele, because he surrendered. He said, I cannot do this. Let the Lord make the decision for me. And he
The
said,
Lord
"Be
will fight our
patient."
battles.
Yes. And he said, patient. Have
Give
we
God
seen the
time.
grave surrender? We probably seen already the grave surrender, because everything we know about the RB has changed drastically, people. Johnny already has changed his view about the government. And I told you that the Lord told us that months ago. And now we're seeing everything coming over, like this, right? We see everything happening exactly about the prophetic, about the RB. The prophetic great surrender is here. A president gave up, and he put the destiny of his nation for God. You see, all the things that we're seeing right now, the signs of the Holocaust, not the Holocaust, but the freedom of the slaves, the 400 year, during Moses, right?
Yeah.
We
Set the
seen,
captives free.
yes, we've seen rivers turning to
The
red.
Exodus. The Exodus.
Yeah,
Yep.
we've seen rivers turning to red. We've seen we've seen also the place like, the place like, for example, water is turning to red, to blood, right? We haven't seen the frogs. There hasn't the lice. We haven't seen that. The flies. We haven't seen that. The disease of livestock. Oh, trust me. What would you just find out about in England?
Exactly.
Okay? In China. There you go. The disease of livestock. Okay? So we've seen the water turning to blood. We've seen the disease of livestock. All right? We see it says unhealable boils. That's basically diseases of people. You can see the coronavirus.
Yes, exactly.
Do you see that? Number 6. So we got one, what is turning to blood, disease of livestock. That's the new disease that's coming right now in China. I told you about the England was going to be attacked just like China did, and we have an outbreak in England. Then we see the unhealable boils, which is basically the virus coming out right now.
And the hail. We've got
the hail,
that.
we have seen hail.
And the
Tremendous
locusts.
hail. Locusts in Africa. Hello. The most worst locusts. We have seen locusts also
in Mecca too.
In Mecca. Okay. Now we haven't seen the darkness, and we have spoken about the 3 days of darkness.
But there has been power outages all over the place.
Exactly. We have seen the we've seen the
blackouts.
The blackouts. You see that? It's a different way, but we've seen the blackouts, right?
Still darkness, yep.
So we have one, what is unto blood. We have disease of livestock. We have the unhealable boils, which is the coronavirus.
Yep.
The hail, the locusts, the darkness, the 6. We haven't seen, and God forbid, the death of the firstborn.
Oh, man. Well, I'll tell you, is that abortion?
They could be.
It could be. Like in New York,
Exactly. See
those
that?
laws, right?
There you go. So you see all the symbols. We need to wake up, people,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
this is a repetition,
Judgment of God.
the judgment of God to free black people,
Mm-hmm.
to
Mm-hmm.
free the 400 years of the people of God.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay? So we are seeing prophecy, we are seeing biblical phenomena, biblical um,
Signs.
science and events.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay? So I
Okay.
hope that you have liked this presentation and make you realize, people, that we are very near for our blessing. We don't know
Mm-hmm.
when it's going to happen, but we are being presence of the manifestation of God. And I even said it. If you have not cried to the video, it's because you don't realize the manifestation of God as it is.
Mm-hmm.
God is manifesting in a beautiful way.
Mm-hmm. Amen.
All right. So if you would like to donate to my efforts to bring you this information, here's the number one. You can, send me whatever you want to send me a PayPal, PayPal.me, fake news show. But if you're going to send me your money order only, please do me a favor. Leave your number. Leave
Email.
email so I can personally call you and thank you for it. All right. And I want to thank you for your support. I want to really thank you for your support on this.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I was going to read some of the letters that you guys been sending me. Unfortunately, I'm running out of time right now, but I promise you, I will do another video, and I'm gonna read all the letters. I have a lot of letters to read. All right, and I want.
And one of the things that I want people to realize is that, when Ben calls me, he is so shocked and grateful for every donation. Like truly,
Mhm.
truly, it is a blessing and it's humbling, what God will do, to keep his word going through in this community.
Yes. So the above PowerPoint is my personal opinion only about the reset and revaluation of the Iraqi dinar. The information I'm about to release, or I was about to release, is not from the new elite. It's my own opinion, and I try to make it more like God's opinion because I decode stuff. Decoding a lot of
Hmm.
things that are happening right now. And
God is
people,
revealing, right?
yes,
Yeah.
exactly. I want to thank you for supporting and watching my video. Please give me your comments, whether they're negative or not negative. I really got used to already. And I just wanted to tell you guys that we are being present at the manifestation of God, and we are learning so much.
Hmm.
All right. So
Hmm.
I want to thank all of you, and I mean all of you, for your support and your comments and everything. And God bless all of you for the continuous message and the continuous support that I receive for all of you guys. Thank you so much. God bless each and every one of you. Thank you, Karen.
God bless you, Benny.
And I'll see you next time.